morning. Welcome to Africa Talk. I'm your host, Kristen, and today we will debate whether new imperialism was largely positive or negative. To start off, many countries were scrambling to get a piece of Africa for their country. Africa was a hotspot territory to take over because of its vast minerals, wealth, geography, and diverse agriculture. You're all wondering how these got into Africa from their countries. Well, back then there wasn't air travel, so the Suez Canal was the primary route. Overall, social, economic, religious, and artistic aspects largely impacted Africa in a negative way. Today's guests will have their separate views on this topic, but we state the facts that you need to hear. Next to me is an African, Chinwe Abebe. Let's hear what she has to say about pre-imperialism culture in Africa.
Well, before my country was clustered with Europeans, we had very diverse cultures all over. After they came and changed the way we lived, it became very segregated, not only by the whites and the blacks, but our own tribes too. Nothing will ever be the same.
Thank you, Chinwe. Moving forward, our next guest is David Livingston, a Christian missionary who explored Africa and faced many hardships.
Thanks for having me on the show, Kristen.
So tell me, David, what really happened in Africa?
My initial reasoning for going to Africa was to convert Africans to Christianity. As it turns out, I found some new trade routes that had not been discovered yet.
How do you feel Africa is assimilating into these changes?
I feel that they know that I had a respect for them, and that I gave them hope that the slave trade would end. I was telling other missionaries about the cruelty that was going on, and I'm sure that your next guest would appreciate that.
I bet. Let's give a welcome to our next guest, King Leopold II of Belgium. He is known for his famous quote, "I do not want to miss a chance of getting us a slice of this magnificent cake." Leopold, please tell us more about this quote and what you meant by it.
Well, I felt strongly that Africa had a lot to offer, and I wanted a piece of it. I definitely didn't want to miss out on the Berlin Conference of 1884. This conference laid out the rules and regulations of imperializing in Africa. There was the Treaty of Protection, the policy of pacification, and promises such as ending slavery and bringing education.
Now that you have a piece of Africa, what did you do with it?
Well, what I did was I produced massive amounts of rubber and ivory.
Now, was this at the expense of the Africans?
No, of course not. It opened up jobs and industry, and I feel I gave them a sense of organization. I mean, there were some punishments if not enough was produced.
But he cut off my hand!
Chill, fam. Wait your turn. But wait, Leopold, what did you benefit from this colony?
I did get a lot of.
Now that it's your turn, little African boy, tell me the hardships you faced working in the Congo under Leopold's rule.
I worked at the color bar, while people like me worked underground with low money and harsh conditions. The blacks had poor living conditions, while the whites lived with their families and in nice homes.
All your work led to Africa becoming the world's largest gold producer. Was it worth it?
No, losing a hand was certainly not.
Thanks for coming on the show, Cecil Rhodes.
Thanks for having me.
Please tell us how you impacted your piece of Africa.
One of my biggest works was definitely monopolizing the world's diamond industry, which led to a lot of wealth everywhere. I kept the two races working a lot.
I've heard you're a strong business owner. Does this have anything to do with the way you divide up your work?
As a matter of fact, my De Beers Corporation was highly successful because of my strategies. Also, all the economic wealth this gained led to political power.
Rumor has it, you started a South African war on African soil. Please tell me more about that.
Yes, a war was started, but the blame shouldn't be all on me. The whites and the blacks were divided, and of course, my kind was superior. Now, the system of racial separation is even harsher.
Thank you for your input. Our researchers here at Africa Talk have notified me that another impact on Africa was railroads. These railroads led to the quicker movement of troops, and it allowed African peasants to earn very small wages, which is an improvement of what was stated before. Now, here on Africa Talk, I'm bringing in two college kids to get their final input on this matter.
Hi, I'm Vanessa.
And I'm Lindsey. After watching the show and from our background knowledge, we both feel that the new imperialism in Africa was indeed negative.
After hearing the African side and the European sides of the story, it is clear to us that new imperialism on this continent was not socially, economically, religiously, and artistically in favor for the Africans.
New imperialism damaged the old African customs, and we will never know if it is from the Europeans at this time or other events in history.
Thank you, Vanessa and Lindsay. Now, that's a wrap. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Africa Talk.